where you can see some of the resources they've created. And we're also working with Nicole Donraj, who's also an educational consultant. And every time I hit play, it goes back to here. We'll get to the current slide. It'll come. I only made 10 slides. I'm sorry, you just never know how technology will work with you. Okay, books will be written by students in collaboration with teachers and topic experts. They will be illustrated by Children for Health in-house artists. They will be strategically designed using the participatory inquiry method to spark curiosity. And that's why I have a visual of a person asking questions. So they encourage a lot of question asking. That's part of the inquiry process, which is great. And so it gets the kids really involved in this instead of, you know, just learning and memorizing for tests. It gets kids really curious in the topics and doing research. And it mobilizes youth to become agents of change in their communities, which is a great thing for this Generation Z, is to have purpose, and that this really helps them to feel like they're going to make a difference. Okay, let's see if it advances. Oh, okay, almost to advance there. Oh. Sorry, I don't know. The next slide is supposed to be yellow. Let me see if I can get to the yellow slide. So when I am the one conducting the Zoom by myself, it cooperates better. But you know, we're sharing a screen here. Let's see if I can get to my slide. Okay, this yellow slide. Yeah, we've arrived. Each book will have a primary story, and I just did a piece of this book. So this is one that you can see on the website under resources, Children for Health. It's called Everyone Counts, and this is a storybook created for an area where I guess the children, they would prepare the meal, and they were noticing that when the father comes home from work, he would eat first, and then everyone else in the family will eat after the father is done. But what happened was sometimes the children didn't get enough to eat. So this story helped families to understand that everyone counts and how to share. And these little parrots are the mascots, and the parrots are Zuzu and Zaza. So the page would have the main story, but if children are reading to their siblings or younger children, there's an abbreviated story on the bottom of each page. So that's the red. So it was a long page, and then at the bottom it says, Zuzu tries to explain to Zaza about division as they watch Mika doing his math homework. So if you take a look at some of their stories, they're really nice. And also, besides the primary and the lighter story, they also had additional hands-on activities for further growth and exploration, and also questions for exploration. Okay, let's see if we can get to the next slide. Okay, it's not quite the next slide. The next slide is beige color. Well, since we're at this slide, I might as well go over it, and I'll see if I can go back to the slide before. Oh. Okay, my apologies again. It sort of ran out of order. But let me just get over to the beige slide, and I can go over that one. Okay. With your energy and willingness to join in this project, we can put Guam on the map for the first youth created storybook on resilience, driving prevention in our families and community. Thank you for your consideration, and thank you, Phil Hagan, for inviting me with this opportunity to present. Thank you for your consideration to partner with the Get Healthy Guam Coalition in this endeavor. And we created this image with the two youth holding up a storybook because we're very excited to create a product. Okay, and then I have another slide. I think it's yellow. Oh, this is the slide a little bit about me slide. Well, I was kind of hoping for the yellow slide to come next. Let's see, I'm gonna try again. Oh, funds, yes. How funds and other types of support can help with the project. To expand the number of classrooms that can participate. To add more teacher training sessions from our topic experts. In the printing of completed books, because the books will be put on their website and available free of charge to download. But we would also like to print the books. To assist in the development of the next storybooks, and by spreading the word and assistance with picture taking, videographing, and social media. These are different kinds of help we could use help with. And I have a page that has a little bit about me. Okay, it's pink. Well, let me try again for the pink page. There. A little about me. Okay. I grew up on Guam and have fond memories of participating in Rotary Club of Guam activities with my family, especially the picnics and sandcastle contests. As a teenager, I applied from Notre Dame High School to participate in the Rotary Club Exchange program and really enjoyed our time in Korozawa. I was nervous when asked to present in Japanese at the closing ceremony, but did okay once they suggested that I slow down in my speaking. Currently, I'm the president of the Guam Women's Club, and I work in the education department of Guam Memorial Hospital. I used to teach at Notre Dame High School, and I'm very passionate about health and critical thinking and reading and writing skills for Guam's emerging future leaders. And then next slide just has my website and my email address.
You were saying there's a website that you're gonna put all the or what the book that you're doing on, and it can be viewed for free. Is that a national website?
Yeah, I just forgot the name of it right now, but I will put it on I'll put it on our website where the book will go, because the book will be, yeah, I'll stop sharing. I know I have an email address on the last slide, but it ran away. But I'd be happy to share the presentation with you, and it has my email address and my phone number.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
yes, it'll be put. I think it's called the World Reader, is what I think it's called, the World Reader, and it'll also be on the childrenforhealth.org website. So yes, it's free. All their books are free to download and access.
No, the reason why I ask is the Rotary Clubs of Pacific Basin Group for this year they're looking at bringing an awareness for diabetes out here and the outer islands too, since that's such a big issue or big health problem. And yeah, if there's information on that website, maybe we can put it all together and pass it out at schools or something like that. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, because I think our ADG who's on here might be able to help out a little more on the direction of the diabetes program that we're doing. But
Yeah,
yeah, I
thank you
mean,
very much, President Phil. Yes, our district will give us 20,000 for diabetes. Maybe this is not only this year, but maybe continuing project because the diabetes is prevalent all the islands as well as Guam. So what we're trying to do is to especially on Guam, we can five clubs combine together and make a joint project. But we are concentrating on diabetes, and especially your cases, you concentrate on children which we like to start with. So maybe we can get together and see what we can do as well. We have about 10,000 budget for Guam, then another 10,000 for outer island like Saipan, Palau, Pohnpei, and Chuuk. And yes, I will check your homepage and so on and see what we can do.
Very much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Do you currently have any programs geared towards that?
We want to do a series of books, so I definitely do want to do one on diabetes, and we can do that right. We can do that one next.
Oh, I see. Good.
We might be able to do it at the same time.
Yeah. Or when do you expect the current book that you're doing to be published?
April.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah, maybe we can just discuss then. I'm expecting the money to come in around sometime in March. So at least we can
Okay.
plan first. Yes. Then
Okay.
whatever money we can appropriate to your program, then we may be able to do that too.
Terrific.
Mhm.
Yes, we can do the books at the same time because they're different topics. So we could have like two different cohorts working on
Uh-huh.
different books.
Yes. Yeah, especially diabetes. We have to teach children what to eat and
True.
what are the healthy food, what what not to eat, what to eat, maybe exercise and so on. So then book is easy to approach them instead of just letters or something.
Hmm. Yes, especially when they're going to help create it. That gets them even more
Uh-huh.
curious.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm curious that the who was the artist that will the children also participate in drawing pictures and so on the book?
Well, well, if we're going to work with Children for Health, they have an in-house artist, but we can expand. We can expand the program to include also the children's drawings, maybe as a separate activity. I think
I
that would
see.
be nice.
Okay,
We could
thank
do
you.
maybe like a poster project. Yeah. Thank you.
Past President Steve, you have a question?
Was that me?
Past President. Yep, that's
Oh,
you.
okay, good here. Hi, Renee. Thanks for
Hello.
presentation. I was wondering about your thoughts on, looking forward in the future about how we use our Guam schools. And I've had a thought for a long time is that, our schools are not in our villages in a lot of cases. And so and then the schools that we have, the public schools, are locked down after school ends. And I really have, I worked on a project to create the Sustancia program that was out about 5 or 6, 7 years ago, something like that. That was to, it was a grant with the Robert Wood Foundation. We got about $250,000, a little more than that. And it was to affect policies and practices that would reduce childhood obesity. And so learned a lot about that when we did that grant outside of Rotary. But one of the things that we came upon was that we have these school facilities, and the way that they're designed nowadays is that the cafeteria, library, and gyms are all part of the internal school complex. And working with some research, we found ideas that if you were to make the library, the cafeteria, and the gym an annex to the school, and the school, all schools have playgrounds. If they were smaller schools, more smaller schools built in communities, then as people came home to the community, they would be able to use the school throughout the entire day rather than locking it down, especially on weekends and evenings and holidays in the summer. And that would start the healthy lifestyle. Then the next thought was to put in a Koban or a uh, fire department fire station, and certain ones that we could do those with, or other types of government agencies that could have longer hours. That way, kids that would be going home and doing nothing, especially single parent kids or parents both working, could actually stay after school. They'd have a place to eat. They could recreate in the gym, and they could study in the library. All those resources are not available after school is out. And single parents or double working parents, etc., know that there would be somebody safe. And then I think one of the things that we had studied was changing the position of a school nurse, especially in elementary schools where they need to get these habits done, to become a wellness director and working with the BMIs and stuff like that of the kids. And so I wonder how we can influence that through your projects, through writing. I've always thought of a story from a kid's eye saying, I go to school all day and go home, but I want to play at school after school. You know, something around that. Because when I was a little kid in Agania Heights, we constantly used the playground and the baseball field and the basketball court that was attached to school day and night. We were really active, but those are all locked up now. And the whole community, small communities like Agania Heights, there's always something going on at the baseball field or the basketball court. But in other places, our high schools, etc., like that, they're really I think starting with elementary schools, we can do better. And these different types of coalitions, I think we can see the damage that has been done to the health and physical nature of our young students, because they don't grow up with that same availability of resources in their village. What do you think of that?
I think if we were able to have better parks in each neighborhood, that would be one big thing. If there was a big change in the way of parks and recreation and the way it was funded, because I've seen other communities have beautiful parks. Everything is up to date, and you know, in walking distance, you would have many parks, so you could take the kids out for a walk. If there was a easy walking space, because there's the Walk to School program that we had investigated with the Non-Communicable Disease Consortium, like walking to schools, because I know we were looking at League One area of walking to school, and it can be quite tricky. But there used to be pathways through the village of how people can walk to school through the different pathways. I remember going on those pathways. So the, just to have more walkable neighborhoods and better parks. So I think if something at that policy and community at a different level, if we can tackle that to make communities more walkable and improve the parks, that'd be awesome.
Thank you.
You're working at GMH. What is there something that you see the most of health wise for kids? Maybe like from early teens or preteens.
Well, there's the mental health issues, and there's obesity, and there's a lot of lifestyle things. Parents afraid to let their kids go out and play too much. Just not. Also, maybe the neighborhoods also are not safe enough for the kids to play. I mean, we grew up playing in our neighborhood. We played outside all night. I mean, not all night, but in the evenings after dinner we would play, because the neighborhood is lit up and it was safe, and we played with the neighbors, played all kinds of games, skateboarding and biking and running around. So you take out a lot of energy, so you got fit kids. You need good neighborhoods for that. So I mean, I'm not directly with the patients in my department, because I'm more into education with the healthcare providers.
Okay.
But it wouldn't be too difficult to do a little research to find out some of the main reasons why we have youth here. But I think lack of physical activity is a problem, and I think the eating behaviors of families. That's why we want to get these books into the houses through the kids. Let's make a change through the kids.
Yes, let's do that. Does anybody else have any questions? Anybody? Nothing. Okay. Well, Yeah, I want to thank you for it was a last minute request, and I want to thank you for making the time for us, Miss Renee. We do have a pretty good program going, and like our ADG Lucky said, that diabetes is going to be an issue for the Rotary Club of Pacific Basin,
Mhm.
which I think is like 9 clubs. So we might have to lean on you later for some guidance on things, and hope you're ready
Very
for that.
exciting. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect.
thank you very much, and
Okay,
yeah,
thank you again.
well, what's and please go ahead and send me your presentation. I'll pass it on to the members.
Okay, will do.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Appreciate it. Thank you again. Thank
Everybody else, thank you for joining. And I forgot to mention in the beginning, we have very special guests today. We have of course, our ADG who asked a question earlier. We have past president Marcia from the Saipan Club, uh, Roma Mori from who will be representing the Rotary Club of Chuk, and of course, a very past president, Brad Clem, visiting us from USA.
Thank you,
So,
Phil.
Yay!
Thank you.
yeah, so welcome back on to our club.
Good to see you go.
Yeah, does anybody have anything to say to our past president, Brad Clem? Not, if not, then yeah, I think we're gonna conclude. It's kind of a short meeting today, but thank you all for joining, and thank you, past president Brad, for joining us from millions of miles away.
Walnut Creek,
Uh,
California.
Yeah. Hey,
It's a real pleasure it's a real pleasure to join the club meeting. Thank you.
President Phil,
yes.
uh, since IPP Masha and Rioma is here, then would you just explain about what we're trying to do about the reviving of Truck Lagoon?
Okay, sure. So as you guys know, that Truk Lagoon was sponsored by the Rotary Club of Guam, if I'm not mistaken, and
It's true.
last couple of years, uh, membership had dropped a little bit and participation. So we're trying to get together with or a past president Marshall from Saipan is volunteering to help revive that club by adding some new members, getting some new blood in there, and getting some new officers. So we're trying to get them involved in any of our activities that we have out here or in PVG to reignite that down there. Yeah. Vice President Marshall, you have anything you want to add? Are you still there? I think just left already. But yeah, we're
No,
trying to
she's
revive.
here. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we're trying to revive Chuk any way we can by adding more members and cycling out the members who have been holding the same positions for the past 2-3 years. They've been recycling the same positions with like I think 7 members. Yeah. So any projects that reach into FSM, we'll always give them a shout out and see how they can participate. Yeah. Easy. Anything you want to add to
Zach. All right, never mind.
that? Okay. Yeah. If nobody else to add to that, um, yeah, that's all I got. Thank you all for joining us this week. Please stay safe and stay dry out there. Roads are wet and school is back out in session. So get ready for traffic. Other than that, thank you all for joining and we'll see you all next week. Goodbye.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Seeing you, Brad.
Yeah,
Good seeing you. Thank
Take
you.
care.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good seeing you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
bye.